Okay, welcome back to another customer repair video. This time we got a nice change. Instead of some S17 Plus boards, we got an S17 Pro board. However, the problem is very much similar, where we got two ripped heat sinks. So that is on number 17 and 26, I believe. So let's connect the tester, do our first assessment. Visually I can tell that the board looks good. Gonna make sure that it is on S17. Fire that up. And we got 0. So let's go to the microscope. And I am not going to waste any time. I'm gonna go straight for this one chip, and I'm trying to zoom out enough so that you guys can see. Alright, so in order to test before the bad chip, I'm going to take the 1.8 volt from this capacitor right here, and I'm going to shoot it in RO, which is, I know I'll use this pin right here, and wait for the tester. So 16. So yeah, and if we look now after, so this is a mode 0 domain, and I know that because it's written right on the bottom of the hashboard. So I'm going to take the 1.8, go to this test point. Oh, looks like I still got something. Well, I still got 16. So interesting case, but let's try this again. So 16 while testing before. And 16 while testing after. So as expected, that first chip looks like is not good. We can go ahead and do some signal measurements just for kicks. So on this mode 0, I believe my clock is right here. Sorry, I'm just gonna like so. I believe my clock is right here. Come on. And I'm gonna try to find the ground. Nothing here. Is that the clock? So that's the reset. I know that. Here's the reset. So I got 1.8 there. That's good. This is my RO. This is my CI, I believe. 1.8. That's good. And yeah, no clock coming out. Actually, I do have a little bit of something like 0.2 to 0.5 volts, but nothing that would qualify as a good clock. So I can confirm that that chip needs to be replaced. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so new chip installed. There we go. Looks amazing. Give it a quick cleaning. And hopefully I'm going to be able to go a little bit further along in the chain than 16. Okay, so let me connect this and this. Click on this. Still nothing. Back to the microscope. That is our bad chip. Now if we go here, so we said that, zoom out a bit so that you guys can see. So we said that this to this. There we go. Now we got 17, so we bypassed that chip that was bad is now good. And the board is getting a little hot, so I'm gonna let it cool down, and we're gonna do some more tests. I suspect that we're gonna get to that second bad chip, and that's gonna need to be replaced probably, but we'll see when we get there. So first of all, let the board cool. See you in a bit. Okay, we are back, and so we found that our newly installed chip was good. So I'm gonna go to the bottom of the domain. Will I? Just looking at where I can get my 1.8 volt. I think that's good. And so I'm gonna squeeze underneath here. You can't really see on the microscope, but there is a cap there with 1.8 volts. Put that in the RO. And we appear to be no good on this guy. Oh, sorry, wrong cap. So because I'm going around the domain, I need 1.8 volt from the next domain over. So I want to make sure I don't short anything, and then still nothing. That is not good. Alright, so let's start again from here. Okay, so we got 17, and again this is at mode 0, so I'm going for this guy. I see somebody already poked that. Got 18, got 19, and so I'm back, and the board is hot again. I find that this Russian tester really heats up the S17 Pros a lot quicker than the universal fixture. So anyway, I'm gonna let it cool again and be back. Okay, so we know 17 is good. So this is 20. And in order to test 20, I'm gonna fire up the tester. So I'm gonna go take the 1.8 of the next domain over, and then I'm going to put that in the test point right here. So 20 is good. Now let's go for 24. So again, I'm going to take, see if we get some capacitors missing here, the 1.8 of that domain, and put it in the test point here, and we got nothing. So let's backtrack a little bit. This is a mode 1 domain. Still nothing here. Just want to make sure I have a good contact on my 1.8 volts. Still nothing here. Still nothing here. Let me try that again, get a good poke. And right here. Yeah, so we got 20. So we can get 20 and we cannot get 21. So that's a little surprising, unfortunately. I was expecting for the two bad chips to only be the ones that don't have the heat sinks on, but so it looks like we can get 20, we cannot get 21. So let's take the heat sink off of 21. There we go. That chip does not look very good. It's actually not too bad, I guess. No, I take that back. It is pretty bad. So let's give it a quick clean. See, there's already some residue there on the pins, which almost looks like old flux. So yeah, that chip, see, it's also got a piece of its core missing, and we definitely did not do that by just removing the heatsink. So there's a chunk missing, there's a big chunk of copper missing. So we're gonna go ahead and retest that now that we got more access, but I suspect that it is going to be the same results. So let me go my 1.8, do a little bit of pressure, make sure I got a good connection. So 0 there, and if I go to my RO point, which is just off camera for you guys, then I get my 20. So definitely bad, needs another chip replaced. Okay, here we are at our chip number 21. I'm gonna give that a bit of a clean. So this is the one that we could not get past in our last round of testing. So let's see if that changed anything. I'm gonna connect the board again. Fire up the tester, get my jumpers. Oh, there we go, 25. So don't even, oh sorry, that camera was not on. Let me just, sorry, messing with the other camera. I forgot to start. Yeah, so there we go, 25. So what that tells us is that this chip is now good. So that's 21, 25 to the top of that domain. And we would not going over, which is unfortunate. No, sorry, so that's 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then 25 is the one right before the one that is missing its heatsink. So again, makes sense. Let's go back to the microscope. That chip number 25 is also missing a huge chunk. I'll just use my tweezers to kind of gauge how deep it is, and sometimes the perspective is a little hard with the microscope, but I can tell you that that is pretty deep, and it's also pretty dirty in here. So I'm just going to give that a quick wipe. And so, as I noticed earlier, so we're missing a cap here, and also we're missing 3 caps here. So I'm gonna go get some of those, and then what I'm gonna have to do is, sorry, I don't know if that was on the screen or not, but so we're missing a cap here on this 1.8 volt trace, and we're missing another one on the 1.8 up here, as well as two on the 0.8 here and here. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do after that is remove this heatsink, give me some access that I'm gonna put the caps on, and then replace the chip, and then hopefully it should be it for that board. So bear with me as I source some components. Okay, so let me remove this heatsink first. I'm actually going to put it back on the other chip we changed, since we are done with that for now. Okay. Let me check that is recording. So this also very dirty. Just gonna give that a quick wipe. And then here's one of the places where we need to put a cap back on. So I'm just gonna beef up this right here. As I'm trying to work around all the heat sinks. There we go. Just redoing some of those test points. Not test points, sorry, but junction points for components. Okay, so now that I put the capacitors back on, I'm gonna test the board real quick. Just make sure I didn't disturb anything else. Now we still got our 25 chips. And if that's the case, I'm gonna go on to do a chip replacement. Yep, so we're good, 25. So again, 25, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24, 25, so this top one is good. I removed that one to get better access, and this is the one, 26, that we gotta change. So let's go ahead and do a chip replacement. Okay, so here's what we got. I can see a couple of pins that are a little flat, but nothing too crazy. I'm just gonna leave them, assuming that chip works, obviously. Yeah, there we go. So I think we can test the board one last time, even though it's a little warm right now. We'll see what it says. I'm gonna connect that. Be careful not to mix those on the S17 Pro. I'm gonna fire up the tester. Boom, 48. And that is all of our chip. So again, I'm gonna call that fixed. I'm gonna put the heat sinks back on. I won't do that on video because you've seen me do that plenty of time. And I'm gonna throw that in the miner for the customer. Let that hash for about 24 hours. I don't expect any problem. And that's gonna be it. Okay, thank you. See you soon.